Porsche built a 911 so brutal they named it after death. Almost 700 horsepower, rear engine, no all-wheel drive to save you, and a name with a body count behind it. Then something weird happened. Pro drivers got behind the wheel and said it felt easy. That doesn't add up. And that's exactly what we're digging into. If you know anything about the Porsche 911 GT2 RS, you know the nickname. Widowmaker. Porsche didn't slap that on. As a marketing gimmick, this car earned it the hard way, decades before this version ever existed. So when Porsche cranked this one up to 690 horsepower, with the engine hanging out behind the rear wheels and nothing to bail you out, everyone braced for the scariest 911 ever built. Instead, the story didn't line up. This is how a car this savage somehow became one of the most confidence-inspiring things Porsche has ever made, and why, right now, that whole story is about to end. Quick thing before we get into it, if you're into stories like this one, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. To understand why the name even matters, you've got to go back before this car existed. The GT2 badge first showed up in 1995 on the old 993, built so Porsche could race it under a specific rulebook, nothing more. Then came the 996 GT2 in 2001, but it was the 997 GT2 in 2007 that really earned the nickname a brutally hard car to drive, almost all its power going straight to the rear tires with the engine sitting behind the rear axle, so one wrong move and you were off the road. The GT2 RS version that followed made it worse on paper, around 620 horsepower, only 500 ever built. The drivers who could handle it loved it. The ones who couldn't found out exactly why people called it the Widowmaker. So when this version, the 9912 GT2 RS, dropped in 2017 with even more firepower, 690 horsepower out of a twin turbo 3. 8-liter flat 6, 553 lb-ft of torque, everyone assumed Porsche had just built the most dangerous one yet. But that's where things get weird, because once journalists actually drove it, the reviews didn't read like a warning label. They read like Porsche had pulled off something nobody saw coming. Here's why. Normally, if you want to push a turbo engine to silly power numbers, you're playing with fire. Bigger turbos, more boost, that means more heat. And more heat means you're one hard pull away from melting something very expensive. Porsche's regular 9111 Turbo S engine was already making around 580 horsepower, so jumping past 690 wasn't a small ask. Their fix was sneaky and genuinely clever, a water injection system that sprays a fine mist straight into the hot exhaust gas on its way into the turbos. That mist cools things down just enough that engineers could fit bigger turbochargers and crank up the boost without the engine cooking itself. Then there's the chassis. Porsche borrowed the same four-wheel steering tech used on the GT3 RS and even the 918 Spider hypercar, but tuned this car's springs harder and its anti-roll bars softer. So you've got a savage engine sitting in a chassis that's been dialed in with real precision. The result is power that follows your right foot exactly, instead of just dumping itself on you all at once. That precision is the actual answer to our mystery pro drivers called this monster manageable, because the throttle response built trust instead of fear. Okay, so that explains how Porsche tamed it. But here's the part that actually shocked the whole supercar world. Porsche took this thing to the Nürburgring Nordschleife, the most brutal test track on the planet, and ran a lap of 6 minutes and 47. 3 seconds, making it the fastest production car on Earth at that point. That number alone sounds wild, but here's what makes it ridiculous. Ferrari built the 488 Pista specifically to play in this exact arena, and McLaren had the 720S out there too, both packing similar power, both costing similar money. Independent testing by Sport Auto had the GT2 RS running a 658.28, the Ferrari at 7.003, and the McLaren at 708.82. A car with a license plate and an actual factory warranty was beating two dedicated supercars built by brands obsessed with track times. And Porsche wasn't even finished. In 2021, fitted with Porsche's own Manthe Racing Performance Kit, the same test driver took it back out and ran 638.8, beating its own record by almost 9 seconds. That wasn't luck. The engine response and chassis tuning we just talked about weren't just there to make the street drive less scary, they were there because Porsche built this thing to be provably faster than cars costing way more. Here's the thing though. All of that, the name, the engineering trick, the Nürburgring beatdown, that's the story of a car that's about to disappear. Right now in 2026, Porsche has already opened order books for the next GT2 RS, built on the newer 992 platform. Spy shots show it as the widest 911 ever made, with massive flared fenders. Rumors point to a 48-volt mild hybrid system pulled straight from Porsche's Le Mans winning race cars, with output somewhere between 750 and possibly north of 800 horsepower. Deliveries are expected this year, at a price rumored around 450,000 euros, which lands well over $500,000 once you convert it. So this 690 horsepower, twin-turbo, zero-electric assist Widowmaker we've been talking about? It's the last one of its kind. The final GT2 RS that's purely gas before Porsche shifts the whole nameplate into the hybrid era. That's exactly why used prices on this generation have been climbing. It's not just a fast Porsche anymore. It's the closing chapter of a 30-year story. And once the new one lands, that chapter's done for good. So let's bring it together. This car inherited a name built on decades of 911s that genuinely hurt people. Porsche made it faster and scarier on paper. Then used a water injection trick and a seriously dialed-in chassis to make all that power feel controllable instead of terrifying. It backed that up by beating Ferrari and McLaren around the hardest track on the planet, twice. And now it's standing at the end of its own story, the last pure gas Widowmaker right before Porsche hands the name over to electrification. Turns out the scariest name in Porsche's lineup belongs to one of the most honest cars they've ever built. And if you want to see whether Porsche just built something even crazier with that new hybrid GT2 RS, that breakdown's coming soon. Subscribe so you don't miss it.